I had to stay in the hospital for, I think it was like the first month. I did not leave the hospital. I was in the bed. I made my own like hospital workouts. I had like these like little 60 water bottles.
Comes out, he's jacked. He's like, hey,
It's not Barry Bonds, you know.
He's like, what happened to you?
I made the best of it. I stayed in the hospital, but I would go on these walks. Like I'd take my the machine that while I was getting my chemo actually, I'd get the chemo and I'd walk around and we walk around the hospital and I'd look around and
So
I'd see.
you're hold on, you're actively getting chemo,
Yeah.
right? And you're trying and you're in the middle of a workout. Yo, que lo que, my people, we are back with and I say this a lot, but this is a really special one.
Special.
Yeah.
This is special. This is special within the special category. We got a really good one today. Ralph, what's up, brother?
Everything is good. I mean, we got a very honorable guest today. And,
Beautiful.
And, he's a good friend of mine. The family is very dear to my heart. And I mean, when you say that people inspire you, this is one of the people that inspire you. And it's unbelievable because like you would think that this is like a hero, a basketball player or something that everyone knows, but no. It is Rocco Pisani.
Rocco Pisani is a hero.
He is a hero.
Based on what you've
but
told me.
what I'm saying is that like you would think it's someone famous,
Right,
but no,
right.
this is Rocco Pisani, a young man who has
Nice.
gone through so much and has endured so much and has inspired so many people. And he's only, how old are you now, Rocco?
14.
14 years old.
14 years old.
Wow.
Well, Rocco, welcome.
And he's only 14.
Welcome.
Rocco.
And we'll make sure we'll put a round of applause.
Yeah.
Welcome, man. Thank
Yeah.
you for joining us. I was telling you, before we started recording, but thank you. And then we heard you were at the dentist also. So you went to school, you were at the dentist, and now you're here with us.
Well,
So,
wait. He was you didn't do the basketball thing today or no?
Oh.
The managing?
I never practiced today. No.
He left practice to be with us.
Oh,
Wow.
Look at this kid.
Talk about
So-
dedication.
So here's what inspires me about Rocco. So at the age of 10 years old, and I might like tongue twist this one, but Rocco was diagnosed with high risk acute lymphoblastic leukemia. This was in May of 2020. Did I say that right, Rock?
Yes, you got it.
Okay.
You got it.
And I mean, if everyone remembers this time, a lot of COVID, a lot of stuff going on.
right at the heart of it.
Right in the heart of it.
Right.
And the family just they're just stallions. They're rocks. You know what I mean? They just get through whatever. So obviously they're good friends of ours, our kids. We've seen these kids grow up. Our kids went to school together from, I don't know, what age, Rock?
First grade. I was
First grade, right? And seeing this happen as they grew and they got closer to my kids, seeing this happen to Rocco, I mean, it was just like a very devastating thing. And just to see how he managed this situation was just unbelievable. I mean, it almost brings a tear to my eye because you would not expect a kid who's 10 years old to take something like so big and so scary and just kick it right in the teeth.
That's awesome.
And yeah, so we have him on today. He's
All right.
gonna tell a story.
Yes.
So these guys are gonna drill you, Rock. So you ready?
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna drill you,
So
Rock. They don't believe that you are really a
Oh, no, I know.
hero.
I believe
So
it. I believe it.
So they're gonna drill you.
But
So just be ready.
before Rocco gets into that, right, his diagnosis, I want to get to know you, Rocco. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, what's something that you would say characterizes who Rocco is? Like, what's the essence of you? What do you like to do? What are you interested in?
Look at that jersey he has behind his chair.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
ever since
Not a jersey, but
You're a Yankee fan, so you're ready in the
you're in the
you're
right
ready?
path,
Yes.
brother. You're on the right path.
So all right, so talk to us, Rocco. What do you like to do, man?
So since I was little, one of my favorite things was like being involved in fitness, like whether it's working out or like eating good or even like helping other people. Like in COVID, before I was diagnosed, the start of it, I was always like training my friends and like working out with them. So that was always a big part of my life. Like I always took time to like I was doing push-ups all the time at like 9 years old, and I don't know, I just really enjoy it. So that's a big part of what I do. And then also I really like basketball. I used to play a bunch of sports, so I really enjoy like being on a team and playing with other people. But in the past like 2 years, I kind of narrowed it down from like baseball, basketball, football, soccer. I did swimming too. And then I like brought it down just to basketball now, but I used to love sports and I still do. And also I play instruments. I'm actually on scholarship in my school for band and academic half and
Awesome.
half. So I have to practice band every day, but I really enjoy drums. I'm a drummer and that's really fun. And also um I
That's crazy
do
because the
pretty good in
musician in me was
school.
gonna ask that
I'm
question
trying
to
Oh, that's
Rocco.
right. You got a musician.
Yeah,
over
so
here. That's
you
right.
got a
He,
musician.
I
he
was about to
actually the
say-
musician.
I was about to
Yeah,
say,
right.
any interest in music, and you just blurted it out, man.
Well, no, not
Music
not
is like-
interested in music. He has a scholarship.
No, there you go. So he went further beyond my
I
expectation
enjoy
on
playing the
that.
drums. I feel like I like found a bunch of things that I like doing and now I'm kind of like set. I'm gonna just keep doing that. I'm not like trying to find things anymore. I kind of found what I like and now I like that's just what I do.
So let me ask you.
Awesome.
Let me ask you. I'm sorry. I'm hogging the
No,
microphone.
you're fine.
So so what gets you into fitness? So obviously at a very young age. So COVID happens. You're 9, 10 years old, and you're getting your friends to do push-ups so they stay healthy, and COVID doesn't catch up to them, right? So talk to us about how you became interested in fitness.
Well, I feel like most kids around my age, when they were little, everyone watched YouTube. Like that was their thing. They'd like sit on the couch in the morning on like a Saturday and they watch like TV or YouTube. But I always used to see like these people that were like all jacked and big and they were like telling you what to eat, how to work out and whatever. And I want to look like that and I want to be able to help people how they're helping me. Like I feel like every boy or every kid almost in their life they've looked up on YouTube 10-minute ab workout and they want to get in shape and they have like that like almost like turning point in their life where they want to better themselves. And I feel like I always wanted to help people achieve that goal for themselves or achieve like bettering themselves. So
Nice.
I started working out myself just to like teach myself everything. I feel like I always ate pretty good from when I was little, and then after I got diagnosed, that became like even more a big part, like even a bigger part of my life because I felt like that was one of the things that could help me thrive during that time or like help me get through it better than if I didn't eat good. So I taught it all to myself and I learned it, watched a bunch of videos, and my family's a pretty healthy family in general. Like they taught me some stuff, but I don't know, I feel like I kind of like I researched a lot about it and everything like that. So I learned all that. And then when COVID hit, I was like, oh no, my friends, they're not even going out to play sports anymore. They're in their house. I'm like, it's time to help them. It's time to call them. So I called up 5 of my like best friends and we used to have group FaceTime calls and I'd have a big poster board. I'd write down like all different workouts. I'd be like
Wow.
burpees, 10 burpees, push-ups, whatever.
He's that sick.
Burpees.
You know what's so funny?
Oh,
You know what's so funny? That I challenged him to a push-up competition.
He rocked
He
you,
beat
right?
you.
No, I've been ducking him. I've been ducking him for like 3 years because I don't want to lose to
I'll
him.
do it next week.
You know, so I always ask him like questions about protein and this and that. Like, Rocco, what are you taking, man? So you got to see this kid. This kid's ripped.
That's
like,
awesome.
But
That
go
is
ahead,
amazing,
right?
man.
I've been ducking.
Oh.
Yeah, so I was training all my friends and then after I started doing that, I realized like I like loved it and it really made me feel good just to help other people. And then that kind of transitioned into me getting diagnosed and then what I wanted to do then and help all the people that I could then. So it kind of like I feel like everything that happened in my life, I feel like God had a plan that set me up perfectly for what happened in the future. And it all worked out.
Wow.
That's
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 You're the
amazing.
man, Rock.
You got
Tell
anything?
you,
I got
this
a bunch
kid's
of questions.
inspiring,
Yeah,
man.
I
This
know.
kid's inspiring. I'm telling you.
All right, so you said basketball. So now you honed in on basketball. No baseball, no football, no hockey, no swimming. Basketball. What do you play? What position do you play?
I play point guard. I actually have tryouts for an AAU team tomorrow morning.
Oh,
I mean
nice.
tomorrow night. So I'm looking forward to that.
You got to
And
come back to let us know that you made the AAU team.
I will. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, awesome,
Yeah,
man.
I play point guard, and I think I played since 3rd grade. I played in my school when I started in 3rd grade, and then I went to like and now I'm going to AU.
Actually, it's in the genes. His mom was like, what, starting center or something, Rock, at Quinnipiac?
Yeah, yeah, she was D1,
Yeah,
and
she was
Oh,
D1
wow.
Yeah, his mom is, she's.
So you
Bobo.
won't challenge her. You
Nah.
challenge Rocco to push up
No,
competition.
he
You
Come on.
won't
ducked the
challenge his
challenge.
mom
He
to a
ducked the
basketball
challenge.
to a
Like,
one-on-one or
definitely,
anything like that. All right?
Yeah, she's tall,
Alright,
bro.
cool.
She's tall. see, I'm 5'7".
She was dunking on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was dead done. That's even worse than losing to push-ups. I think. Yeah, I think it's worse.
Rocco, I think there's something to this push-up competition. We're probably gonna have to set something up where we're gonna do a remote.
I'm a
Yes,
terrible
yes.
shape.
We're gonna do a remote.
I
We're
need
gonna go
time
on
to
the
get ready.
boardwalk in the
I need
Rockaways.
time to get ready, man. I'm in
No.
terrible shape.
Well, get ready, bro. It's gonna happen this summer, and we're gonna go and we're gonna raise some money for Rocco as well during this push-up
go. There you
competition.
go.
I think
Ready
that's the
whenever.
idea.
Just let me know and I'm ready.
Maybe we'll mix
Kid's
it.
always ready.
Maybe we'll do some burpees also, right?
Mhm.
That's awesome,
Who-
man.
I don't know, man. I work out. We all do. Burpees is the thing. Is that
Oh,
type of
burpees.
workout? When they say 20 burpees, I'm like, you good? I run away from them.
Burpees those are I feel like those are one of the hardest body weight things. You
Yes.
could say like, all right, do 50 push-ups. I'll be like, all right, do 30. I'll be gassed. Those are hard.
What
Wait.
about Rocco? You finish the workout and then the trainer says, "All right, just finish up with 50 burpees." That's when they really
Yes.
suck. That's when they're
I used
really
to-
hard.
So
I used to do
so Rocco, like personally, and I think that obviously everyone can get a sense of who this kid is already. I mean, you could see he's a ball of just
A
energy,
champion at heart.
a
man.
champion at heart, and I think that one of the things that again helped, I think, was obviously his commitment to health, right?
Mhm.
To working out, to eating the right things.
And before
Before
him
that,
being
yeah,
diagnosed,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Which we'll get into the diagnosis now.
Yeah. So I mean, I think if the audience and the children can take anything away, right, is being prepared and
Right.
and being ready to and doing the right things,
Being
Yeah.
determined the way he is. It's like, you don't typically see a 10-year-old or, now that you're 14, but, when you said when you started doing these things, like, you typically don't hear that from a kid. Usually it's a coach trying to push, someone
Right.
going to a gym. Like, look, let's set up disciplines, let's set up diets, let's set up a regimen. But coming from Rocco at the age that you're at,
Yeah. So Rocco,
God bless.
so when you set up these FaceTime calls, what would you do if one of your friends didn't show up?
oh yeah, I wanna hear that one.
Don't even want to know. So I'd have like I'd call them all and I'd be like, I know they were on their phone because what else are you doing during?
Right.
I know you're not out somewhere doing something, so I'd wait till they answer me the next day or whatever, and they'll be like, "Oh, you want to play video games?" I say, "Oh yeah. First, can you just give me 20 push-ups for
That's
missing
awesome.
yesterday?"
That's so awesome.
I'd be like, I'm not playing any Fortnite with you, so you just get down and give me 20, and it'd be like, I don't know, we'd have all like things like if you miss a day, you have to do this. It was fun.
Awesome.
accountability, and accountability is huge. I mean, he has he got to figure it out at 14. It took me like 35 years to figure all these things out,
Yeah.
right? I think most of us.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, not to get overly serious, but like again, going through this whole experience, with their family, spinal taps.
Well, so let's talk about that. So you're obviously a pretty healthy kid. You're actively working out, right? You're paying attention to what you're eating. So what starts happening? How do you start feeling? What makes you go to the doctor and were you feeling
That's great.
ill, or was it something like that you had a checkup and something came up?
Yeah, so it was like I think it was the start of May, or it might have been the end of April when I started getting these headaches because like I said, I was doing all those workouts with my friends, but I started to do them and I started getting headaches in the middle of them, and it was like every single day, almost nonstop. So I was like, this is weird. I was like, what could it be? I was looking it up. It was like I was drinking all the water I could. It wasn't that. I quit video games for a week. It wasn't that. I wasn't on my phone. Whatever I like did, I think I ruled out everything I could, and I didn't feel sick, so it was like weird. I just felt almost like a little tired and just this headache. It was nonstop. So finally, the night before I went to the hospital, I didn't know I was going to the hospital, but my friend, my neighbor actually, he went to the army and he comes back and he's like, "Look, we're running a mile. I heard you've been working out and we're running a mile together." So I start running and I feel like I was the slowest I ever was in my life. Like I was out of breath after probably like a block of running. And I was like, "I promise you, man, I'm not normally like this. I don't know what it is. I feel so tired." And it's like, I don't know. I feel like I'm like 400 pounds running in a 8-year-old body. Like I have no strength at all. So then he's like, "All right, whatever." I finished the mile
Wow.
and then
Wow.
I get home, I think we got, like, I don't know, it was probably, like, 12 minutes. It was a long mile, but I at least I finished it, whatever. That's all. I just wanted to prove
So they
myself
cared
to him.
about it. Like he finished his mouth.
Yeah, I looked up to him. His name's Devin. He's my neighbor. So I was like, I need to prove myself to him. I need to finish this mile. So I finish it. I get home and I fall right asleep. And the next morning, my mom goes, you know what? I just have a feeling. Let's go to the hospital because we were debating it for a while. You know, COVID. It was like a scary time. You didn't even want to go out,
Right.
let alone go to a hospital where there's people with COVID going there. So my mom was talking to like one of her friends that's a doctor, and we were like debating going whatever. We figure out my mom's like, "You know what? Let's just go. Why risk it and stay home?" So we go to the doctor after like a bunch of televisits and like all the things on FaceTime. They were like, because that's what they did during COVID. They started doing these like FaceTime visits
Mhm.
almost. They were like, "Oh, it's probably whatever." All the stuff I said, like too much screen time, not drinking enough water, and they were like, "It's probably nothing." So finally, my mom brings me to the ER, and they take my blood, whatever, and they're like, your hemoglobin, which is like your red blood cell count, a normal person's is like between 13 and 17, I'm pretty sure it's around there. Mine was 5.4.
Wow.
Oh
And
wow.
they were like, "How are you standing right now?" Like, normally someone with this is on the floor passed out, like out cold. So I was like, I didn't even know until like I feel like a little bit later they told my mom and whatever. So they start giving me a blood transfusion. I was all scared and it was kind of like crazy. I don't know, the day before I felt like I was running around doing everything. And then they tell me my blood is a third of what it should be. I was like, what's wrong with me? We didn't know. So
What a
it was really scary.
crazy.
And then
What a shit.
they next morning they do I think it was either a bone marrow aspiration or a spinal tap, one of the two, and they tested to see like what it could be. And then they didn't tell us for a day, they were like getting the results, and then they bring us up to the oncology floor, hematology oncology on the fourth floor, and I had no clue what it was. I was 10 years old. I didn't know what that meant. But my mom, she kind of had a feeling. She was like, "Oh, what is this?" She's like, "Oncology, that's not a good sign." So we get into the room and finally the doctor comes in. He's like, can I speak to your mom real quick?" And then he tells her, she comes in, she's like, I don't know, she like sat down next to me and it was kind of it's like I'm getting teared up talking about it.
Of
But
course.
it
Take
was
your time.
Aw,
Take your
yeah,
time.
take your time, Rock. Uh, wow. You're the
so
man, Rock. You're the man, Rock.
yeah, thank you. So she tells me, and I was kind of like, first I was upset, and I was kind of like, oh, this is like, what I did not expect that. Like, that's crazy. And then, um, I like slept on it. I woke up the next day, and I said to my mom, "This happened for a reason." Like, oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Mm.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was like, "This happened for a reason. God has a plan for me, and we're gonna get through this." And God, there's some deeper meaning to this. Like, we're gonna find something that this definitely like there's a reason for this happening to me. So we start going through the treatment and like I had to stay in the hospital for I think it was like the first month. I did not leave the hospital. I was in the bed. I made my own like hospital workouts. I had like these like little 60 minutes
Unbelievable.
water bottles. So that it was like they like give you a bunch of chemo the first month because I was diagnosed with what Raf said, the acute lymphoblastic leukemia. It's called ALL. So they like give you a bunch of chemo and they put you on these steroids that like they kind of just make you like drowsy and they like it's not like bodybuilding
Right,
steroids,
right.
but they make you
Comes out, he's jacked. He's like, hey,
It's not Barry Bonds, you know.
He's like, what happened to you?
yeah, so they give me these steroids. They made me like tired and they made me like have like a huge appetite. And it kind of made me just like I was sitting down a lot and I felt like I lost a lot of muscle. Like I tried to do a push up and I like could barely do a push up and I was like, I'm gonna get my strength back. So I'm sitting on the bed and they had these child life specialists they were called, and it's like these they weren't really nurses, but they're like these people that work in the hospital and they come into the room and they talk to you. And she's like, "Oh, you want a coloring book? You want this?" I'm like, "Could you give me a piece of paper?" And she's like, "What do you need a piece of paper for?" I'm like, "I'm gonna make a workout plan." She's like,
Oh, wow.
"Oh,"
Like
she's
they're
like,
probably
"I
like, I
don't."
don't know if that's a good idea.
That's what she said. She was like, "I don't know if that's the best idea." I was like, "Don't worry, I know how to work around like all the stuff because I got a port and it's kind of like this circular metal and plastic like disc almost in my chest. And it attaches to like to a tube into a vein, and that's where they put the chemo through.
Okay.
So that was really sore. But I started off. I got 8-ounce water bottles, those little Poland Spring water
Wow.
bottles, and I was doing
Wow.
curls with them. And I'd be doing like 50 reps, 100 reps. I tried doing crunches. That didn't work because my stomach. I was so sore from the surgery that they gave me. And then, I whatever, I made a bunch of workouts and I made the best of it. I stayed in the hospital, but I would go on these walks. Like I'd take my the machine that while I was getting my chemo actually, I'd get the chemo and I'd walk around. I'd be walking around the hospital and I'd look around and
So
I'd see.
you're hold on,
Wow.
you're actively getting chemo,
Yeah.
right? And you're trying and you're in the middle of a workout.
No. Not like a full-blown workout, but I'd get the chemo
Just walking
and they'd be,
around.
like,
Right.
flushing it. I'd be on, like, liquids 24/7
Right.
because, most kids don't have, like, that much of an appetite when you're in the hospital, so I'd be on fluids and I'd be walking around my machine. We named it Phil. So it's like, "Hey, Phil." And I'm walking around the hospital and I'm thinking, I'm like looking at every single door of every room and I'm like, there's a kid in here in every room that's sick and just like me. It could be a baby, it could be a 5-year-old. Like I'm thinking of all the kids that were in there and I was like, this stinks. I was looking across out my window. I couldn't have any visitors because it was COVID. You weren't allowed to have visitors. So
Yeah, that's
I
another thing.
some my friends visited me. My sister came. They actually wished me my it was my sister's birthday, and I made a sign "Happy Birthday" through the window. But
Wow.
after like looking there, I saw all the windows across and everything, and I was just like, there has to be a better way. I was like, this can't go on forever. Kids can't just like go through the things that I'm going through right now. So I was like, "Mom, we're gonna help people some way through this. We're gonna find a way. This is for a reason." And I was like, "We're gonna get through it." So I continued on with my treatment, and then my first thing was I came up with like these pill boxes, kind of. I didn't come up with it because pill boxes are a thing, but my mom, I forget who told her, but they contacted her with this girl from Rockaway that had, the same thing as me, leukemia also. So she was like, when she was first diagnosed, we got her a pill box, and it helped us so much. It took off so much stress. So my mom got one, and when you get home right after going to the hospital, it's like you're getting so many pills, all this medication. It's like you're home and it's like so much stress. For me, it wasn't that much because I was young. I wasn't managing it, but for my mom, it was like, "Oh, am I giving the right dose? Oh,
Right.
shoot, I have to
Wow.
Yeah.
get pills for tomorrow."
It's tough.
It's stressful. So she told me how much it helped her, and I was like, you know what, let's do that for other kids. That's the first thing we could do. So a bunch of people were donating money for me. I'm so grateful for this. I had a huge support system in Rockaway and Broad Channel and everybody that we knew. I think there was like 300 cars or something, like a huge number. I don't remember the exact number. This was 3, 4 years ago, but they had a parade for me. They raised a bunch of money for me, and I was like, "I'm gonna find a way to give back." So I bought all those pill boxes, and now I'm still doing it today, actually. We give shipments of 100 to the hospital whenever they run out. So we give it to them, and we have on it, it says, "Rocco Strong, never give up."
Mm.
And,
That's
that was,
awesome.
like,
Wow.
my whole motto ever since I was
That's how it
little,
started.
never.
It brings tears to your eyes. Like when it all went down. I mean, that Rocco Strong thing was just like all through Rockaway, and as he's going through all of this,
Right. Right.
he's thinking
He's
about
thinking
how
about
can he
how
help
can we
other
help.
people.
That's
You
amazing.
know, and I mean that's just the quality of a kid that we have here. And I always say this kid's gonna do like run for president. Like, why can we get you can we get you on a ballot, Rock?
So Rocco, so you start. So I guess this is the beginning of Rocco Strong of your organization, right? So you start with pill boxes and you still do that, and where does it go after?
So I start giving the pill boxes, and all of the people that were coming into my room when I was first sick, they see me and they're like, we're going into other kids' rooms and like giving it to them when they're first diagnosed, and it's helping the parents out so much when they go home. And I was like getting the feedback on that. Kids were like sending videos to me, like, "Thank you so much." I'd be walking around the hospital getting my medication. Like I'd be in there almost every day still. Like I'd go there, and it was like not where you have like a bedroom, but it was like these like hospital beds, and you get your treatment every day. So I'd go in and I'd see kids. Some kids were like, "Oh my gosh, thank you so much." Their parents were like telling me how much it meant to me. So I was like, we got to find something else. So I keep going through my treatment. It was rough, but, I could have had it worse, so I'm grateful for, like, everything, that it wasn't too bad. I had my appendix removed. I had like an infection in my intestines. I had like a 3 reactions to a chemo. So I had an anaphylactic reaction the first time, which was really scary. And then they tried it 2 more other times, like watered down or something, and I got more reactions to that. So I had that. Um, I had it's I don't know. You can see I can't even remember everything because
Right.
it's a lot. But
So
um,
and
Yes.
how long were you in chemo for?
well, I kept doing that, and I finished in 3.5 years. My treatment was. 'Cause I
Wow.
started in May of 2020, and I just finished in September of 2023.
Wow.
I
Well,
Yeah.
congratulations for right. That's so and throughout this whole time you're getting full like chemo treatments.
Yeah, full chemo treatments. It starts getting, like, less and less over time, but the start is really rough, and
Mm.
then it's still hard the rest of the time, but nowhere near as bad as the start. After the start, that's when I knew I wanted to help people, so I do the pill boxes, and then we were like, what's something else we could do? And the girl that gave us the idea for the pillboxes, her sister was running for Student Visionary of the Year for an organization called the LLS, and that's the organization that I'm with today. And it's the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, and they try to find a cure for leukemia or childhood blood cancer, but they also have like these 3 pillars. So they have research for better chemos, and because like the chemos that I get today, or the chemos that I did get, don't get them anymore, but they were made in like 1970s or 1980s,
Wow.
like a crazy long time ago, and they were meant for adults. So now kids are getting them, but they're like, oh, it's working, so whatever, we don't have to change it. But even though it's working, I like the stuff I was telling you, I had so many side effects and so
Right.
many things
Yeah.
because of that chemo. Like, I feel like that shouldn't happen to other kids. So that's the pillar that we're a part of, research to help find better treatments for kids. And then they also have patient support. And that's like if they need a ride to the hospital. Like I knew a kid that was getting chemo, and it was hard for him to get a ride to the hospital because he had to take public transportation. So he'd be late to his treatments, and it was like terrible. So this could help kids with that, and it's, like, awesome. Like, a really good thing. I think that's a big part of what they do. And then, patient advocacy. So, if you're in the hospital and, like, if you can't, like, speak for yourself or whatever, they'll come and they'll, like, talk to the hospital, and my mom actually just did something. She lobbied for them. She went to Washington, DC, and she spoke to, like, this, like, I don't know, these high up people, like the senator or something like that, and she was with a big group of people from LLS, and they were like, "All right, these kids in the hospital, there should be like a less of a time of a waiting period between like getting the insurance to cover it because like some kids don't make it. It's like a really
So
bad thing."
Rocco,
So
this organization was there for you guys as well, right? Or
yeah,
yeah.
well,
So when you
we
first got diagnosed, did they like tell me a little bit about, I know Siobhan was a part of it, but I'm just curious
so
your personal experience with them.
we found out completely through her. We didn't really like know about it because the hospital, like, we think more hospitals should know about it. Because if the hospital told us about it, we could have used their resources,
Right.
but
Oh
we
wow.
didn't know, so that's, like, we're trying to get more hospitals to know about it, but so my friend's sister runs, that year, and she said, "Rocco, why don't you be on my team?" And I was like, "That's awesome, I could raise money to help find better treatments for kids that, like, went through the same thing I did." So, I did that year, and we actually raised 120 something thousand dollars, like,
Wow.
over $120,000. It was crazy, and the group together, they have, like, every year this competition, and the group together in that competition raised, I think it was close to $1,000,000, like, maybe over 500,000 maybe.
That's amazing.
It's a really big thing,
That's
and they
amazing.
run that every year. So, I actually was honored hero not honored hero, I was team member of the year that year, and I raised a bunch of money, and then last year, since I went through the treatment, they asked me to be honored hero, and that was kinda, like, encouraging people to raise more money. So that was, like, that year what I did to help other kids, and then this year, I'm finally old enough. It's a high school competition, so I'm in ninth grade now, I made a team, me and Siobhan and I, that girl that told us about the pillboxes and her sister ran. We were like, oh, we're running this year and we're gonna raise a bunch of money and we're gonna help kids just like us. So we made a big team. The competition's actually still going on. There is 2 weeks left starting Monday. Like from Monday, there was 2 weeks left. So we're raising as much money as possible. We're doing we're doing a lot of things, but from the start, do you want me to tell you all of them now
Oh,
or
please. So,
Please
yeah.
do.
He
I
said,
mean, this is your show, Rocco. Just know this
Yeah.
is your show.
Yeah, maybe we'll bring you on and host this puppy. I can go to.
Yeah. So what are some of the things you're doing?
So, first we have like everybody on the team. We have a team of over 30 people. So it's like you have this link. Everyone has this link to the LLS website, and each team, each all the team members from each team has it. So we send that out. We're posting it all on social media, and people could just donate straight to LLS through that link, and it goes through our team. So at the end, they'll be like, "Oh, our team name has been there, beat that," because we both had
Nice.
yeah,
I
so
love that
that's
name.
our team name,
Been there,
and
been there.
they'll be like, "Oh, team been there, beat that, raised X amount of money, whatever." So all the teams have that link, and you could donate straight through there. But the fun part of it is coming up with like creative ways to raise money. So far, we had it was a like a pizza night kind of. It was like we're like kind of like a more towards the kid audience. Like it was between like 11 to 14, I'm pretty sure. And we had a bunch of kids go there. It was like $30 a ticket, I'm pretty sure. So that raised us some money. And then I have like a list here. There's so much stuff that we did. I can't even
Well,
remember. We
Gabby,
have
Gabby and Izzy designed some pajama pants.
yeah,
With
that's
Been
it.
There, Beat
That's
That. I
Nice.
think we sold like 25 of them already, Rob. I
it's
think.
crazy. My
Well,
mom
maybe
was just
more.
telling
I think we only got 15 left. We designed 60. So yeah, Been There, Beat That. It's a bunch of
my
mortgage
mom
guys are gonna be wearing those throughout Long Island.
Nice.
Okay.
thank you. So we did that. We did um a $10,000 raffle, which is like there's 10 chances to win. I actually have a ticket here, but
Oh,
it's like it says like been there, beat that. I don't know if
Oh,
nice.
nice. You ever see
Yeah,
it?
so we're
rock.
selling those and it so people don't feel like oh I don't know if they don't want to donate even though it's a great cause. Some people want something back. So we're like, all right, why not give people a chance to win? And we're still getting money also. So we're raising money that way. We're having the band U2?
Yeah, of
Mm.
course.
Uh, so
Well, it's a cover band.
Right, right.
Okay. Okay.
we're having the cover band come to a hotel near us and they're performing. So we're gonna have people go to that. And we've had company matches. So like if we know someone that works at Chase Bank or wherever, they could if they donate like say, I don't know, $1,000 and they match $1,000, then we get $2,000 towards the campaign. So that's another thing we're doing. And then sponsorships. That's from all different companies so far. There's a few, but one big one is Suja juice. Have you ever had a Suja juice?
I have not.
What
Suja
is it?
juice.
What's that?
So they actually have protein shakes too. I just figured that. I just heard of that. So they sponsored us, and at the end, in the final grand finale, they will have like a big board, and it'll be like sponsorships. So all people will get to see their brand and like their juices and stuff. They
Okay.
actually donated juices to our pizza night, so that was really cool. There's so many different ways. Also, a bunch of people on the team have came up with like their own ways. Like two of my friends, well, like Raphael said, his daughters made the pajama pants,
That's
and
awesome.
then my friends made Super Bowl boxes. My other friend made bracelets and was selling those. And we also did a popcorn fundraiser that included everyone on the team. They sent out this link. It was called Double Good, and all anyone could buy popcorn. Say it was like I don't know, like a $13 mixed thing of popcorn, and half the money goes to our campaign, half the money goes to the company,
Yeah,
Double
that
Good. So
popcorn is good, Rock. You being a health guy, you should not be selling that. Not be lost your job. Just popcorn is
I,
good, man. I ate like two
It's
bags.
good, the
Oh yeah.
popcorn?
Oh, it's called Double Good. It's like really good
Oh, it's
popcorn.
double good. All
Yeah,
right,
double
cool.
good. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, they have all these different flavors. It was
Yeah.
awesome. But that's just most of the things that we've done. We have all different ways and really it's just our main goal is just to give back as much as possible and like help kids like us going to the hospital so they don't have to go through what we went to because we experienced it
That's amazing.
firsthand. and we know like how bad it can be.
So and your team, you said you're part of the pillar of the organization focusing on those three things you mentioned. So any money raised by your team goes directly to that, to those initiatives, right? To whether that be helping with transportation, patient advocacy, right? And then I forgot the first one you said.
Research. Research?
Research.
Research.
Beautiful. Yeah, research. Definitely. That's the important one. All right, awesome.
Yeah, so, all the money goes to those 3, and we're, like, representing that, and each team can represent their own, so, all the money will go to those 3 pillars, and so you know all the money is helping kids in some way.
Right.
Like,
Rocco,
it's not
I got a question. So you went through this, firsthand. Like, what do you think is where's the biggest impact? I mean, obviously, research there's limited control, but where do you see the biggest impact happening when it comes to finding easier ways to deal with the disease, or where do you what were your biggest challenges in going through this?
well, really just the side effects. Like, there were so many, chemos that, like, I would be like, "Oh, thank goodness I'm getting this one today. This one doesn't have as bad side effects." Like, there's all these different names. I'm not gonna name them all because most people don't know the names. They're, like, long names, but, they like, one of them would give kids, like, joint pain, and it would make them, like, dizzy, so they would have to drink juice. Another one, if you don't, like so certain kids are like, what do you call it? They're like it like hurts them more than other people. Like I can't think of the word, but it has more of an effect on them. So they have to take this stuff before the chemo. And if you don't know that you're like have a weakness towards it, you can have stroke like symptoms. And that actually happened to
Wow.
me. So I was sitting at home one day after getting the chemo, and I was talking to my mom, and she was like, "Why does one side of your mouth look, like, lower than the other?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "Can you say the alphabet real quick?" And I was like, "A, B, C, D," and it started, like, drooping, and it
Wow.
was and she was I was like, What's happening to me?" I was like, "What's wrong?" And she just went to my dad, and she just looked at him, and he just looked back at her, and he flew me to the hospital. I actually couldn't even talk in the car on the way there. My mouth just, like I don't know, it was the weirdest thing ever, but that was just because I was, like, intolerant to that chemo or whatever. So after that, they started giving me, like, this medicine. It was actually cough syrup. For somehow it makes, like, it not, like, affect the brain as much or, like, something like that. So, that was a big thing, and that is a scary time. That actually happened to one of our friends, and it really hurt him in the future. So I don't know, I feel
Yeah,
bad
like it
for
had
other
long term
Mhm.
effects, right?
Yeah, it can
Rock
have long-term effects.
Rocco.
I'm lucky that it didn't happen to me, but yeah, it's hard. A lot of the things I couldn't eat for 3 days at one point because they one of the things gave me an infection in my intestines. So, I
Wow.
was in the hospital, and I couldn't eat or drink for, like, 2 days, and then finally I could drink broth. And I'm like, some kids, if it affects them for longer, they cannot be eating for a while. Like, that's hard, and
Right.
especially I eat a lot, and even I ate a lot, and the first day they were like, "Oh, you can't eat." I was like, "Oh my gosh," like, it was hard, it was, like, mentally challenging, like, I don't know, especially, like, I don't know, like, seeing the nurses come in and they be like I'll be like, "Please give me food," and they're like, "No, no, I'm sorry." But
Rocco,
and
I
even
have
at a young age, like, I was mature enough at 10 at least to, like, understand things, but when you're 4 years old, 3
Right.
years old, getting that, and they're not letting you eat, you're
What's going
like,
on?
mhm.
Right. Yeah.
"Yes." I just feel like I just don't want that to happen to other kids. It really is hard, a lot of it.
Rocco, I got a question for you. Seeing that you went through that hard time, have you seen a difference as to, treatments that are being given to kids now compared to what the treatments you were getting before, or like,
I think it's pretty much the same in the past 4 years because a lot of the research that's being done for it isn't finished yet. So what LOS tries to do is get the funding for that research so it can be finished quicker and help kids. So, like, hopefully in, like, 5 I don't know, a few years, maybe 5 years, 10 years, whatever it is, just get it as soon as possible to those kids that are going through, blood cancer.
Rocco, so we spoke about, that day you're diagnosed, you're in the hospital. I want to know about the day you what that was your last chemo. That's what I want to know. What
mm,
was that like? Now you're 3 plus years into this whole thing. I mean, with your mental fortitude, it was probably way easier for you than than it is for a lot of people. But talk to me about that day. How was that day? What was that day like?
So ever since the start, I've been taking pictures. There's this bell that you ring when you're finished, and it's like you say a statement. It's like, I ring this bell 3 times well, and it's like a whole long thing. You say it, and I've been taking pictures of that from the start, and I've been saying I have on my Instagram stories. It's like I'm coming for you,
That's awesome.
and then finally on that last day, the like month before it, I'm like every single morning I'm waking up. I'm like 1 day closer, 1 day closer. I was so excited,
Wow.
and then I finally get there, and I was like, it didn't even feel real. I was like crazy. And then I get to the hospital and I had like probably 30 nurses and doctors in the room where the bell is, which is like a little tiny room. I didn't even know that many people could fit in there. They're all in there. And they're like, come on, Rocco, we've been waiting for this for 3 years. And then I'm like, I don't know. It was really emotional because when you go through something like that, it's like all you could think about is like you don't even I don't know, it was such a long time that I was just focused on getting through it and not like what it would be like when I finished. So it was kind of just like a sudden stop to everything. Like it wasn't like you like I don't know, they were like it's not like you slowly stopped. It was just like you were going through chemo and then one day you're just done.
Right.
And
Right.
it was I was really happy, but it was kind of like a different change to my like it was a lifestyle change almost like I went from every night. I actually still have the reminder on my phone, pills every night at 9 p.m.
Wow.
I still haven't shut it off. I feel like I'm gonna keep it as a reminder forever. It was it's I don't know, it was a really, really good day and it was awesome. I had a bunch of people at my house and people set up like orange ribbons and balloons all around all along Broad Channel. And right, I didn't even know about this. So my parents are like, "Yeah, we're gonna have some family over after your treatment." So I walk out of the hospital and I'm like, I'm just thinking we're gonna get the valley, go to the car. I see 10 cars lined up probably of
Yeah.
all my friends and my family. Raf's children were there and Raf was there. It was so many people, all my like friends, and I don't know, it was just awesome. I started crying when I walked out. It was I don't know, it was just awesome to know,
That's
like, I have
awesome.
that support behind me and to know, like, that people care for me so much that it, like, I don't know, it was a really good time, and then I went home, there were all those balloons lined up. I got to my house, and I would say there were, over 100 people on my block, and it was like a whole party. It's probably one of the best days I've ever it
Oh
was
man, that's
awesome.
amazing. That's
Yeah, it was a
amazing.
good day.
I also want
Amazing
to know
day.
if you I mean you got to go back to Devin and say, all right, let's run this mile now. Let me show you how it's done.
I've already told him, I said, "Right when
Good.
you get back." I'm making up for that day. I said, I'm racing you and I'm beating you. Then we're gonna have
There
a
you
quick
go. That's awesome.
yeah,
What you guys
yeah.
got?
Oh, man, I
I'm just
mean,
astonished, man. It's just like, his experience and just, going through the obstacles that he went through and just keeping that positive mindset, because it's easy to say, you know what, this is kind of beating me and, kind of like
Oh man.
accept it. And from how you explain it, Rocco, like that wasn't an option for you. You're like, this happened to me for a reason. There's going to be something
From the
positive out of
beginning,
this.
which is
And,
incredible.
to see
Yeah, it
that
was
on somebody like you so young, I mean,
It's amazing.
it's amazing. Truly amazing.
thank you. Yeah, it was just like I mean, I had the times when I would be upset and I just wanna, like I just I don't know, I just, like, wanted it to be over, I wanted to finish my treatment, and I was like, I wanna be done with this, I can't it's like, why me, you think? But when you think of that, you're like, "No, it's you for a reason." Like, it's this thing about it says, "God" think of it's like this quote, I found it on Instagram, like, right at the beginning of my treatment, it said, "God gives his toughest battles to his strongest warriors."
That's right.
And I was like, "Yes, that's me. He gave this to me for a reason, and I'm gonna make the best of it, and I'm gonna help all the people I can because, that's just who I am, and I'm not gonna let it beat me down. I'm gonna kick it right in the teeth like
Nice.
Raphael said."
I love that.
my
So
boy.
how can we help? That's what I wanted to get. So how can we help? I know Ralph, you're gonna mention how we can help, and then
Yeah,
Rocco
no,
can let
I'm,
us
I'm gonna,
know.
I'm gonna let, I'm gonna let Rock do it. I mean, I have nothing to say. I mean, you guys got my text yesterday.
Yeah. Yes.
We're just trying to help. I mean, you know, uh, what I said is 100% the truth. This kid is just,
I know, dude.
unscripted,
Amazing.
amazing, just, destined for big things. And you know what we're about. We're about helping people, though.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Oh
what
no,
we're
yeah. I
about.
mean,
So
so
uh,
Rocco, tell us, how can we help? How can we get people to help? How can we get other people motivated for this cause?
I think the biggest thing, even if they can't donate, just spreading the word. Like, so many people don't know what kids are going through, and just like letting them know, and they could, even if it's like $1, everything counts, like to help kids. So just spreading the word as much as possible, letting people know about it, spreading like cancer awareness. And the first thing, like the easiest way to donate is, like I said before, we all have that link. So we could send that out, or you could send that out, whatever, and each person on the team has that, and people could donate just straight through that link. So they'll go on the
Awesome.
thing, it'll say select amount, you donate, and it'll say donate to Team Been There Beat That. And that's one of the easiest ways to donate. Also, um, it there's this the company match thing, but that's kind of hard to get. We already did a lot of company matches, so I don't know if you'd be able to get people to do as many, but that's kind of like, I don't know if you remember from before, it's if you donate 1,000, the
Right.
company will be
Yeah.
like, donate that much too. And then the biggest thing right now that we're trying to do that you could probably help with the most if you want to help is selling the $10,000 raffle tickets. So that we need to sell. There's going to be 400 tickets sold, and we're trying to just get as many people to buy them. Even if you like, I'm telling my friends like, it's $100 a ticket is a lot, but split it with a friend, split it with 4 friends,
Right.
and you guys split whatever
Mm-hmm.
you win. Because
yeah,
it's
it's
not
not a
like,
bad idea,
like
Rock.
yeah, it's not just
So,
like 1 in 400 chance to win. There's 10 opportunities to win. It's I think it's oh here. First ticket $1,000, 50th ticket pulled is 500, and then 100th 500 to whatever, all the way up to the 400th ticket, and the 400th ticket is 1,000, and the one winner gets the 10,000.
That's awesome.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's
So
Sell those tickets.
that's
So
I mean, I
Let's
totally
sell those
forgot about the
tickets. I
tickets.
know.
we'll
So Ralph shared the link with us.
we'll
I
put it
think it's
on.
Gabby's link, right?
That's
Which is
Gabby and
part of the
Isabella's.
Gabby and
They're
right.
part of
Gabby
their
and
team.
Isabella.
Yeah, they're part of the team. Yeah.
So we'll share that link. We'll make sure we share that link, and then
Mm-hmm.
let's talk about those tickets. So I guess we could go through Ralph to sell those tickets.
Yeah, I mean,
yes.
yeah, I don't
Let's
have
do
no.
it.
I mean, I have no problem with that. I mean, Rock, I don't have the tickets. Maybe they can just email
So
you or something. How do you? I don't know how to get you the tickets. Do I have to pick
yeah.
them up? I mean, how does it work?
Yeah.
I have no clue.
So we have Team Venmo, and it you Venmo the money for the ticket, and then you would say for the $10,000 raffle, and we'll send you a picture of your ticket if we
Ah,
can't get it.
Nice.
okay, that
Oh,
makes
cool.
sense. Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
So then you'll get a picture of your ticket, and then when it's pulled, we'll text you if you want, or you could watch. We're probably gonna do it on like Facebook Live or Instagram Live, some type of live thing. So it's like you see it all, and it'll be, I don't know. We might do it. I don't know if we're gonna do it at an event. I'm not sure yet because I don't think we've decided, but
Mm,
we're gonna pull it, and just Venmo is the easiest way. So
Awesome.
mm.
Awesome.
Well, they can
yeah,
also come to that event at the Rockaway Beach Hotel, right, with the band.
yes, if you come to that, we'll be
You guys
selling the
can come
tickets.
down and hang out in Casa
Let's
de
do it.
Reyes, sleep over that weekend if
Let's
you
do it.
I
want.
Let's
like
do
the
Bring the
it.
idea.
wives.
Rocco,
Do a
you
little
are the
dancing.
man. I want to give you, if there's anything that you didn't say that you want to say, now's the time. You're welcome here anytime you want to promote anything regarding your foundation, whatever you want to do. But I want to thank you before you get into that. I want to thank you for your time again. You are truly an inspiration,
Inspiring.
man. A
Mm-hmm.
hundred. I mean,
Thank
I can't even imagine even going through half a mile in your footsteps. So you're amazing.
thank you
Cool.
so much. Eh, Thank you guys for letting me on here. It was awesome, and just any way you could spread that word, or any person watching this, if you hear this, tell your friends, tell your family, whoever you can. It's an awesome cause, and it'll help kids live better lives and healthier lives in the future. So it's
Awesome.
awesome. Thank you guys
Consider
for
it done.
Thanks, Rock. Appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate
And
it, man. Thank you.
we'll definitely connect soon in the hood.
thank you. All right.
So, Rock, one
Oh,
one
sure.
thing. Oh, you know what?
Good point. Good
Rob
Rob
has
point.
had
a
a good
question.
question. Rob said,
Rob's our
so
producer.
let's just say, I mean, take yourself back to when this, first happened for you, Rock. And I mean, Rob, that's a great question. Like, what advice would you give to someone in the same position as you when you had initially got diagnosed with this? What like how what's the best way to get them through something like this?
I think the mental battle is the hardest thing, going through that. So just try to always look on the bright side. Like when I would get something bad given to me, I'd think what's the benefit of this? Like say they were like, "Oh, you're going to have to get 10 extra days of chemo." I'd I'd look on the bright side. I wouldn't be like, "Oh my gosh, 10 more days." I'd be like, "All right, I get to stay with my mom for 10 more days and whatever. Or I get to stay with the nurses." Like bring some positive out of it, even though it's hard sometimes. Just keep doing that. And my biggest thing is never give up. Just look on the bright side. Just never give up. That's my quote. I've had it since probably 9 years old, and um, yeah, it's the best thing.
Never give up, man.
Never give up.
Never give up.
Never give
Well
up.
said. Rocco, thank you, man.
Rock,
Appreciate
be
you.
good, brother. Peace, man.
See you.